Ladies and gentlemen, I am the Pasta King, and welcome to my PK Spot Showcase for the 41 Alliance plus Mega Squad Wargroove campaign. This video was the biggest one I've ever made, not counting streams of course. It was a huge task. I thought it was just going to be a humble little bonus video that maybe took a day at most to do. But boy was I wrong. But first, what's a PK Spot? Well, in Eric's Wargroove campaign, there are special spaces marked by an angel statue, and when you move a commander onto them, a special dialogue plays, featuring me, and Eric, and Blueghost, and whoever the appropriate commander is for that map. And we banter. But more than that, Eric gives a developer commentary about what inspired him to make the map, what challenges he encountered while making the map, and other fun little bits of trivia. It's really worth getting, just for the trivia and the lore. But on top of that, it's also kind of a challenge, because you get a special reward if you find all 20 PK spots. But, here's the big but, and this is what added a lot of work. I had to beat every map again. Because you see, when you get the PK spot, you have to beat the map again in order for it to count. It doesn't matter if you've beaten it previously like I did. You still gotta beat the map again. So that means I did a whole nother playthrough just to make this video. And that doesn't include all of the work I did editing all of this together and doing the commentary. This video was a massive project of its own. Seriously, it's the biggest video I've ever done, and it might be that way for the rest of my life, unless I do something even crazier in the future. But hey, we'll see. We'll see how this ages. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it. Let's start things off with Chapter 1. Very easy detour in the woods here. Hello everyone, this is the Pasta King. Congratulations on finding my hidden space in Chapter 1, the Hall of Emotes. What the heck? Who are you? PK, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be in this map. Sorry, Eric. I guess I do have a bad habit of showing up unexpectedly, but I had an idea. Now you have an idea, after the campaign is already started? Yeah, well, I was thinking if the player manages to move their commander onto a secret space on each map, it would give them a little developer insight on what it was like to create each map. You know, the inspiration you had for each level, challenges you faced, that sort of thing. Well, PK, that actually sounds like a pretty good idea. See, you gotta give old Uncle PK a chance once in a while. Okay, but still, this could have been discussed prior to. Never mind. Yeah, just get on with it. Alright, anyway. Being the very first map of the campaign, I wanted to create a map that could serve as a tutorial of sorts, but was still an engaging combat on its own. All of the unit starting positions and formations were purposely designed to allow the player to learn the movement ranges of different units and experiment with critical hits in a battle that wasn't too punishing. I'm a big advocate for tutorials that teach the player how the game works without explicitly telling them of a text box or other annoying interruption. Isn't that what you're doing right now? Quiet, you! As I was saying, I really wanted to include mechanics like enemy reinforcements and recruiting neutral units, since I knew those were things I wanted to implement later on. Again, this would let the player see these things now, so they can be used to it in tougher battles later on. Also, I realized reducing the HP of the gates down to 50% helped with the pacing of the map. Otherwise, it was a lot of time spent attacking the door until it went down with little else going on. This ended up being the case on all future maps too. For version 4.1, I even removed the upper gate here so it would be easier to find this hidden space. I hope you're happy. But yeah, I guess that's it. Thanks, PK. I actually enjoyed telling everyone that. No problem. Thanks for stopping by my hidden space. I hope to see you again next time. Oh, right. Sorry, Blueghost. You can continue your battle now. And here's a little something for your troubles. A trio of amphibians on a map with no water? That's the great reward for finding this secret space?
Try not to spend it all in one place.
Oh, PK. Well, that was weird.
Blueghost, what did I tell you about getting distracted?
It's not my fault. As soon as I stepped onto space, these voices started arguing and...
We don't have time for this foolishness. Get in there and take care of Mr. L. I know you have what it takes to bring him down.
Okay, I'm on it.
Yeah, guys, Blueghost is going crazy. And so am I, because why would I give you amphibians on a map with no water? Look at that, their movement range is nothing. But you don't need the help, this map's easy enough. I mean, look, Mr. L is completely outmatched. Footy, footy, footy. Footy, go bye-bye. Now for Chapter 2. This is another easy one, because the PK spot is literally on the way. You ride into Obtuseburg with your wagon, and you move on to space here. Hello everyone, it's the Pasta King. Congratulations on finding my secret space in Map 2, the Battle of Obtuseburg.
Ugh, not this again. Listen, I'm kinda in the middle of something here, and it's really important.
Don't worry, Blueghost, I'll make it well worth your while. Besides, if you think this battle is high stakes, just wait until you see what's in store for you later on.
Huh? What do you...
BK, I agreed last time that this hidden space thing was a good idea, but I did say you could go around dropping spoilers everywhere. Huh, well I needed to get your attention somehow, Eric. Now why don't you give the developer insight? The good people some developer insight on this map. Okay, fine. Well, I really want to create a defense map, so I figured what better time than in a battle to save Obtuseburg. First, I really wanted the player to build and use a wagon, as transport vehicles are really important in this game. It fits with the story too, as to why Blueghost would be rushing to get back to Obtuseburg. The thing that was really hard to balance on this map though was the initial amount of enemies and AI-controlled allies that were present at the start of the map. Since there was a bit of randomness on each map, there were some instances that the Spire was able to be saved without Blueghost intervening at all. And there were others where even if movement was perfectly optimized, the player would be overwhelmed and automatically lose no matter what. So it took a while to really find the right configuration that worked. Hopefully, that effort all paid off. Well, the player was able to get to this space, right? So something must have worked out somehow. Thanks, PK, I guess you're right. A few other fun facts. There was special dialogue for if the player manages to actually defeat Bonji instead of living out the 12 turns, but I haven't been able to do that in any of my trial runs. Maybe someone will find a way. Also, the cutscene for the end of this map was actually one of the last ones I made in the whole campaign. There originally wasn't one present at all, but I wanted another scene with Mega and his emotes, and want to foreshadow some things to come.
You're talking about things I haven't seen or done yet, in the past tense. It's driving me crazy!
Sorry, I guess I should let you get back to the action. Let's wrap this up, PK. Okay, that about does it for another Secret Space dialogue. Oh, right, here's a little something for your troubles.
Huh? What are these little things?
Try not to spend them all in one place.
What? Oh! How did you get your hands on little flying bomb things? I don't really know. Well, they're cheeky, but they're not gonna stop me! Obtuseburg will fall, and Mr. L will be avenged! We'll just see about that.
We will indeed. These are nice Sparrow Bombs. Sparrow Bombs are normally generated by Koji during his groove, and they deal AoE damage, about 20 to 30% AoE damage. I don't know the exact amount, but it's in that ballpark. They're very nice for taking out groups. They can even be used to take out structures like buildings and gates. And yeah, defeating Bonji before turn 12 is really hard, like Eric said.
The closest I've been able to do is get him down to 22% health. And the reason for that is there's just a lot of reinforcements that whittle you down on the way to Banji, and Banji has siege weapons that spawn later right next to him. And on top of that, there are only like 2 narrow bridgeways to engage him from. So it's just really hard to get enough firepower to finish him off in time. Somebody's gonna do it one day though. Alrighty, on chapter 3, you gotta make a bit of a trek to break down this gate and reach the PK spot here. You have a lot of units to fight through, and of course you gotta save Blueghost first from their prison. But I do just that. Hello everyone, this is the Pasta King. Congratulations on finding my secret space in map 3. The cake is a lie.
I had a feeling that I would find you here this time.
Ah, very good. Looks like someone is a fast learner. I mean, the giant angel-looking statue makes it a bit obvious. But what if this is the first time that the player found one of these hidden spaces? How would they know that they could find you here? That's a good point. I guess you should probably go discover all these dialogues in order, starting with the first map. It's only the 3rd map, so I don't feel too badly about waiting to fill you in until now. What about branching paths and side missions in the campaign? Oh, that's easy. These exchanges will be in numerical order, so the one chronologically following this will be Chapter 3X, then Chapter 4, and so on. In fact, the main inspiration for putting these PK spaces in the campaign were other tactics games that did something similar, like the Secret Shops and the GBA Fire Emblem games. Plus, I did win SF41's Ultimate Trivia Challenge to score a cameo in the Maze game remastered, so I think these little secrets are well earned. Well earned might be a bit of a stretch, but hey, I'm having fun with it so far. Oh, another great example of secret spaces in a tactics game is this one. Think of those hidden spaces in Caesar's missions in the main campaign of Wargroove that ultimately unlock. Hold on, wait a second, this is supposed to be me interviewing you, not the other way around. You can't steal Uncle PK's show. Would I be giving you your show if I am letting you do all the talking? Aren't you technically just talking to yourself as you're writing this right now?
Hey, so I don't mean to interrupt, but can we get moving?
Oh, right, sorry. For this map, I want to create a scenario where the player would have to essentially race against the opponent to an objective, almost like a King of the Hill style matchup. I figured rescuing Blueghost was a good way to go, and Mega's crystals, the Endurance Groove could help sustain the emo for a few more turns. The biggest things to balance were the number of dogs that Summer started with, as well as the position of the bases to make sure the player can recruit units to reach Blueghost in time. Speaking of which, from Summer's response to the Google form when this campaign was just getting started, I knew he and his army of dogs would be a purr opponent for this map. Thanks, Summer, for being such a wholesome guy.
You really don't know me very well, do you?
Yeah, Eric, Summer's a she. Anyway, I ended up revisiting this map a lot throughout the development of the campaign to improve that opening sequence with making free 400 rescuing Blueghost. It was definitely the single event I worked on most up to this point.
I had a funny feeling that Mega didn't come up with a plan that elaborate on his own.
And that's really all I have all to say about this map. Hey, did you know that flying units and those that travel on wheels cannot move on the castle floor tiles? So if Fifi's giving you a hard time, you can just hide out in here and eventually bait Summer to come to you.
Well, that's a good tip, but I don't think it's gonna happen now that you just said it out loud.
Whoops. And that's all for now. As always, here's a little something for your troubles.
Wow, my own dragon? Thank you so... Wait, didn't you say that dragons can't move on castle tiles or something?
Don't spend it all in one place!
Is this just supposed to be some huge troll? Why did I even bother with that?
Don't say that Uncle PK doesn't take care of you! Wait, I'm still alive. How?
Swan, you're back? But you're on Blueghost's side now.
Wait, it wasn't my choice. I just appeared here and...
Save it, Micron. I'm gonna take you both down now.
Really running out of Weimerers, huh?
Grr, grr.
Yep, that's John, back from the dead. I'm not gonna say all those numbers, by the way. No way, no how. And I apologize for, my reading being quite off. On Chapter 3X, it's very easy to get the PK spot, and you don't have to do anything with Chancellor Blarg at all. Just keep moving her to safety, as you normally would, and Mega can grab the spot right here, very easily. Hello everyone, this is the Pasta King. Congratulations on finding my secret space for Chapter 3X, Swords and Sorcery.
What? What is this?
I'll give you credit, Mega. Going after Chancellor Blarg is a true act of heroism. Of course I would expect nothing less from the leader of Obtuseberg's emotes.
PK, why are you even here?
We've covered all this with Blueghost on the very first map. Move a commander to the secret space, access my secret dialogue. It's what all the cool kids are doing these days.
Wait, is that why Blueghost ran outside at the Hall of Emotes to stumble on some silly dialogue?
Yeah, but don't worry. It all worked out for the best, didn't it?
Eric, you're here too? Tell me, was the 41 Alliance responsible for the attack on Obtuseberg?
Whoa, I am definitely not going to answer that question just yet. Talk about getting into spoiler territory.
That wasn't a no.
Instead, let's talk about the development of this map. A smashing idea, Eric. It was a very interesting thing that I discovered on this map. I had to make the Chancellor into her own faction, grouped up with Mega, to be able to code a defeat condition for it if Chancellor Blarg met her untimely end. Originally, I had everyone on the Cyan team, but since there were multiple mages on the team, the game got very confused. First, it resulted in a defeat if any of the mages fell, which was obviously bad. Then I tried to make it so that Chancellor Blarg got a location assigned to her that would update with her position as she moved, which would allow me to designate a mage at that position as a mission-critical character. This seemed to work until multiple mages were all near Chancellor Blarg, at which point, the location seemed to update to one of them at random, once again ruining my plan. So in the end, making them two separate factions did the trick. Fun fact, if Chancellor Blarg captures a base, she's not allowed to build any mages at risk of messing with the logic in place. Gotta cover those test cases.
Bases?
What are you talking about? There aren't any bases on this map. Ah, you're right. The problem with the Chancellor remains, but largely applies to the old version of Chapter 3X. As the opening dialogue suggests, this map was entirely recreated for the 41 Alliance plus Mega Squad Wargroove campaign 2.0 update.
You mean after all that time spent making the original campaign, you went back to add more? Are you really that much of a glutton for punishment?
Perhaps, but it was a great opportunity for me to put a fresh coat of paint on everything, as well as utilize some of the quality of life improvements that Wargroove's Double Trouble DLC provided. In fact, Mega, your feedback along with so many others influenced many of the changes, including the brand new map that you're playing on right now. Being one of the first maps that I created with the editor, the first version was a little rough around the edges. It was also overly difficult for this point in the game, and sent an unintended message to the player that all of the extra chapters would be brutal gauntlets. This new and improved model highlights the focus of this map much more effectively. Unique and interesting puzzles involving Emberic's Elder Shield.
Ahem, I think you mean my Mega Shards!
Ah yes, how could I forget? Those Mega Shards gave me quite a tough time with their quirky spawning behaviors. I ran into a few glitches if they're spawning or breaking animations. Yeah, interfered with another crystal spawning or breaking. It was very annoying. Lastly, the specific concept for this map was inspired by the cooperative nature of those of the Double Trouble DLC campaign. Having two groups together to accomplish a common goal was an interesting idea that I had not explored in this campaign yet, so I thought this was the perfect time to try it. Are you sure that's all? Surely you must have more to say about version 2.0 of this campaign. If not about version 2.0, then what about the Ultra Definitive Edition Hyper Turbo version 4.1 and Knuckles with new funky mode starring Dante from the Devil May Cry series? That's not the official name, just to set the record straight.
but I did rewrite some of the dialogue, rebalanced the puzzles, and added a tip to make the first part of this map a little more manageable. It makes for a much better experience overall. Good, because it's time for me to get back to the Chancellor. Do I at least get something for my troubles? But of course, check this out! Nothing's happening. What the heck, PK? I didn't think your rewards would also be as slow as you. Don't worry, Uncle PK has a whole cache of strange and wonderful things. Be patient, and good things will happen. Ugh, what a ripoff. Oh wait, I almost forgot. PK! Eric! Darn, they're gone. I want to remind Eric of how right I was with recommending Ever Oasis. He ended up naming this whole area after it. That's how much he loved it.
This battle does not seem to be going in my favor. Mega, you have not beaten me yet, but I must say that your pause and leadership on the battle is impressive. Honestly, no disrespect to our king, but you probably have what it takes to be an administrator of this server.
Ah, thank you, but I'm certainly not a server administrator. Not yet, at least. But it's still anyone's game!
That is a classic Mega line. And the PK spot actually does something. It just doesn't happen on this phase of the map. Let's go to the next phase. Alrighty. It's about to happen right at the end of this turn.
PK! Starstorm!
Don't spend it all in one place.
What? Who even was that?
Ugh, I've just about had it with these stupid bridges.
Huh, I guess the old man was good for something.
You're damn right, Mega. I cut off Mr. Celius's reinforcements, so now Mega could clear the rest of the map in peace.
Lightning blast!
And yes, I love a good lightning blast! By the way, I do clear this map in 11 turns, which according to Eric is the fastest possible clear. Okie dokie, in Chapter 4, it's a simple matter of taking out Rune Tempest and claiming his territory for your own. Using the wagon helps, of course, to get to the PK spot as soon as possible. I did it on turn 7, but I'm sure you could do it sooner if you really committed to it and made some sacrifices, but I like to win while getting the PK spot. Thank you very much. Hello everyone, this is the Pasta King. Congratulations on finding my secret space for Map 4, Triple Threat. Found you again, PK. I have to admit, it's actually pretty fun to track down these secret spaces. See? I told Eric this was a good idea, and now it's even growing on Blueghost. Yeah, I'm curious as to what you have to say about... Who was that just talking to me? Did 3 people just help complete one sentence?
Hey, who? Are you talking to? Over there!
Yeah, and it's really impossible to tell. I've just been tuning them out.
Hey Eric, did you purposely design these characters to match the stereotypes of bandits or outlaws in other video games? Or...
Yeah, I did. Although it was a simple idea, I had a lot of fun with writing their dialogue, both during the map and in the cutscenes. It was actually tough for even me to tell them apart sometimes. But something you may not know is that the enemy commanders used to all be Kojis. But they were changed to Wolfars after the release of the Double Trouble expansion. Seemed a lot more fitting, since Blueghost was fighting actual outlaws, so thanks to the Wargroove development team for helping to take this map in a more accurate direction. Speaking of direction, this map is directly inspired by Chapter 25, Crazed Beast, from Hector's story in Fire Emblem on GBA, which I guess was inspired by Genealogy of the Holy War. That was a terrible seg, just so you know. I really like that map because it's a 3-on-1 fight in which the player can choose to capture any castle in any order, and each faction has its own specialization. Saiyan, Chris, and Rune Tempest all have the potential to deploy ground, air, and naval units. The goal was to create a map that presented the player with various little threats they had seen before, all mixed together at once. Not to mention, oh wait, cover your ears for a minute, Blueghost.
Okay.
Okay, good. Not to mention Blueghost's character development. I really wanted Blueghost to transition from a seemingly foolish emo at the beginning to a competent and respected leader at the end, with a lot of key mentorship along the way, of course. That was really one of the big themes I wanted to capture in this campaign, a coming-of-age story, and this map really marks the start of that story arc.
So what you mean to say is Blueghost isn't going to die throughout the course of the game? Talk about some major plot armor.
Well, the player can still feel maps along the way, of course. The game doesn't play itself.
I know, I'm just giving you a hard time. Well, I guess that's good news for you, eh, Blueghost? Blueghost? Do you still have your ears plugged? Oh well, let's just spawn in a unit.
Oh, are you guys done now? Is that for me?
Yes, all set, Blueghost. Thank you.
What the heck is that? I'd never seen one of those before.
It's one of the new additions from the Double Trouble DLC. They're Sniper Elites. Consider yourself lucky to have one on your side.
Huh, neat. Thanks, PK.
Just don't spend it all in one place.
Well, that was fun. What did you think, Ghost Gang? Be sure to let me know in the comments below.
Yep, Blueghost on their influencer arc. But yeah, this is the Marksman. The Marksman is a very cool infantry unit. It has a massive attack range, but only 3 bullets. And then they have to reload afterwards. But the last bullet is always a critical hit. And they can capture buildings, like other infantry units. They are expensive though, at 750 gold. And they cannot shoot at units in forest tiles. So, keep that in mind when playing against enemy marksmen. In addition to this, they're also quite frail. They take a lot of damage from just about everything. So keep them well protected. And remember, they have 9 range. That is a lot. You really don't need to get up close to danger. As you can see here, Chapter 5 requires a full journey. You literally have to beat most of the map to get the PK spot here. It's on the edge. We're living on the edge, baby. Hello everyone, it's the Pasta King. Congratulations on finding my secret space for Map 5, Battle Tested.
Yes, hi PK. How are things going on your end?
You know, no one ever thinks to ask me that. Everyone's always so quick to bring up Ogre Battle, Pull and Sprink, or my general sluggishness. I appreciate that you took the time to find out how I was doing, which is a question that I will be answering.
Yes, okay, that's great. Listen, I could really use some help here. There are some giants chasing me through the forest, and I'm kinda starting to panic.
Excellent. That's exactly the feeling I was going for with this map.
What?
I really wanted to make a chase sequence in Wargroove, and this map was the perfect opportunity to do it. The tension that the Fog of War creates,
Wow, I'm clicking way too fast. I'm sorry, guys. I thought I gave myself enough time with the clicking. Yep, and there are invisible walls, and yep, once they reach the river, they're free to roam.
I'm glad you seem so excited about that.
There was also a lot of balancing in this map with the initial enemy units. In some of the first test runs, the enemies just captured all the villages. Yeah, and overwhelmed the player right out the gate. Definitely needed some adjustments. In total, the enemy starts at 3 soldiers, 4 dogs, 5 spearmen.
No, I'm not reading all that. And no, I was not wondering, Eric.
That is interesting. Wait, did you say a trebuchet? I don't remember seeing that anywhere.
It's kind of hidden, but you can find it if you look around long enough. Also, animated cutscenes that use Cobalt Yoshi 27, such that Cobalt Yoshi stays on his wooden stag, was tough. That's not the default animation for Greenfinger, so there were a lot of times where his stag would just disappear and would be stuck moonwalking across the ground during testing.
Greenfinger? Is that actually the name of a character?
Oh, sorry, Cobalt. I think that's our cue to get out of here. Here's a little something for your troubles.
Hey, thanks. That's actually very useful. Or at least it would be if it wasn't on the complete opposite side of the map.
Hey, Blueghost. Beggars can't be choosers. Be thankful that you received any aid at all.
Fair enough. Sorry for sounding ungrateful.
Just don't spend it all in one place. That's it now. No more forward aid. The rest is up to you.
Okay, I could do this, Bowie and May. Come at me, bros.
Is that what the kids are all saying these days? I mean, they used to. They don't really say it that much anymore. And yeah, I have to apologize again, guys. My readings of this text are not going to be perfect. Because this is all post-commentary. And I thought I had clicked on the dialogue slow enough to give myself time to read, but apparently I didn't. And this has happened for multiple maps already. But I hope you're having fun. I'm having fun doing this. These dialogues are great so far. And there are more good ones to come. And that golem's not going to do anything. And by that golem, I mean the golem that I gave to Blueghost. They're just too far away. Ah, Chapter 5X, my old friend. It's been a while since I've done epic battle with you, but this time, I'm just gonna conquer you straight up, because I have mastered the secret of balance, and I have used the power of balance to go all the way to the right side of the map. You see the PK spot? Right there, near the upper right corner, and I'm kicking Sakani's ass. All the way. Left to right. Up to down. Well, I guess I should be using cardinal directions. But you get the idea. I'm kicking ass. Now here's the PK spot. Hello everyone, it's the Pasta King. Congratulations on finding my secret space for map 5X. Forces of Nature. So finding a space like this was how Blueghost received aid against Bowie and May. Yeah, that is if Blueghost actually found the space during Chapter 5. There's really no way to know for sure. You mean you didn't restrict it so the player has to land on these secret spaces in order? Well, no, I think it's best to reward exploration and discovery. If they happen to find one out of order, then perhaps they'll be incentivized to go back and find them all. Who knows, there might just be a reward if they can find them all. Maybe! I'm pretty sure you know, and you most definitely set campaign flags as to whether previous dialogue sequences have been triggered. You're just not telling. Maybe! If you two are done, I would like to give some developer insight on this map. Eric, what the heck is going on here? Why are you attacking? Silence, pray. Now is not the time for such foolish questions. Yeah, I know you're in a tough spot now, Kumal, but you should get more information later on in the campaign. Maybe! Okay, I'm getting sick of all this cryptic nonsense. Either give us some insider info or go away. Yes, the hunt must continue. Okay, but you have no right to complain, Sakani. This map was a really tough one. And I mean really tough to make. Definitely the toughest so far. I wanted a map in which Sakani would teleport around after being damaged, constantly leaving the player confused and unsure as to where exactly enemy forces were coming from. Well, you certainly managed to accomplish that. Doing this in a balanced way was the particularly challenging piece. There were many, and I mean many, hours of playtesting poured into this map. Yes, running around here for an hour definitely seems fair and balanced. I'm ignoring you. I also really strive to make this map look like a natural setting you would see in a game like this. When you're staring at a blank canvas, that's a pretty difficult thing to do. Lastly, working on this map was the first time I encountered a major glitch in the cutscene editor. It has since been patched, but by having a character's voice line continue past the point at which said character despawned, it would freeze the cutscene editor. Oh wow, it would just leave all the active characters standing around. You should have left that in. Would have made for easy victims. I kinda want to get out of here before I become a target on Sakani's murder spree. Just remember, have a commander stop on any flowery space beneath an angel statue to find me again. Oh, and of course, a little something for your troubles. These should provide you with some much needed vision. You could always come to Uncle PK, good old Uncle PK, in your time of need. Just don't spend them all in one place. I guess I can't be too upset. Eric did include me in multiple maps after all. Wrong! Pray, this is my map and it was made with me in mind. Ha! Evil with your home field advantage. Victory will be ours today. Everyone, let's finish this. Yeah, this is a really nice reward. Having all those extra battle pups give you, much needed vision control. Look at that. They're placed in nice tactical locations as well, really helping you with the north side. And now let's get to Chapter 6. Oh yeah, this is this has a really fun event. Not so much for a gameplay perspective, but it's funny. Hello everyone, it's the Pasta King. Congratulations on finding my secret space for Chapter 6, Master and Apprentice. Hey Mr. B, you've done a fine job training Blueghost to be a mathematician. Way to go! Thanks, but what is this? Some sort of hidden Easter egg or something? Kind of. It's a chance for Eric to provide some developer insight on making the campaign. Ah yes, from one teacher to another, I know how much goes into all of the prep work. I am excited to hear it. I appreciate that, Mr. B. Finally, someone who gets it. Whoa, I've been on your side since the beginning of all this. Can't I get a little bit of credit? True, but can you calculate e to the something plus 1? How is that relevant at a time like this? It's 0. Correct. Maybe I should hire you to do these bonus dialogues instead. Whoa there, mathletes. Let's not get crazy. Is this animosity all because of my elite AWBW skills when we played, Eric? By the way, AWBW stands for Advanced Force by Web. Technically, we never played a game to completion. There still could have been a comeback in the works. But okay, fine, I'll get on with it. Anyway, the opening cutscene to this map took by far the longest of any cutscene so far. And it was a long one to watch, too. Let me tell ya. Just getting all those map symbols into the dialogue boxes was a project by itself. And honestly, you did an impressive job with that, Eric. I was impressed with the level of math on display in a simple box. This map was also the debut of Pond the Great, pretty much designed to be a hybrid of the Black Knight from Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, and Azula from Avatar. As such, this map is based on Chapter 11 from Path of Radiance, right down to Pond the Great spawning at his little house. Good choice, that's pretty befitting of Pond's personality anyway. Just throw a love of cute things in there and you have a spot-on match. Now, Pond the Great can be a wholesome guy. Probably. He's cool in the Discord server. Anyway, moving on. The entire right side of the map loosely resembles that map I just mentioned for Path of Radiance, rotated 270 degrees. Also, designing the small puzzle at the start for Mr. B to escape from took a lot of thought. Did you notice that the AI in this game is incapable of using transport vehicles? But on the topic of transport vehicles, it's not mentioned in this map, but the captain of the barge that Blueghost boards at the end is none other than Ishmael. You'll be seeing more of him next map. On the next map, by the way, since there are no commanders for the player to control, you'll have to put an amphibian on PK's secret space, but keep that secret between us, okay? One last thing, this is a pretty mathematical map. There's a special event that occurs on turn 64, but surely no sane individual will wait that long just to see some extra content. Right? You're joking, right? Am I? Find out for yourself. Well, that's all the time we have. Tune in next time for more developer insight.
Excuse me, but you know I've been here this whole time, right? Your little developer commentary idea is cute.
Hey, what the? Ha! Nice going, Uncle PK.
Don't spend this favor all in one place.
I don't know how, but I will get out of here, and when I do, you will pay.
Phew. Well, it's nice not to have to worry about that for now. Let's get out of here. We're not really going to wait around until the 64th turn. Right, Blueghost? Why are you looking at me like that?
Yeah, I'm not gonna wait until the 64th turn. Somebody else could film that. On Chapter 7, we got ourselves the Great Sea Battle again, and you have to move an amphibian onto this space. Hello everyone, it's the Pasta King. Congratulations on finding my secret space for Chapter 7, A Grim Voyage. And kudos to you for figuring out to place an amphibian in this space instead of a commander this time around. You must have either found another one of my secret spaces, or just figured out my favorite unit.
Amphibians are your favorite units in this game?
Of course! They're versatile, they have a ranged attack, and they're fairly affordable. It's a jack of all trades, kinda like myself. Yeah, and on land they're painfully slow, just like you were in uploading videos or telling stories.
Okay, Eric, I don't remember asking for your commentary on that issue.
Oh, come on, you walked right into that one. Besides, isn't it that what this whole series of Hidden Spaces is about? You asking me for some insider commentary about each individual map?
I suppose that's fair. Well then get to it, Eric. What can you tell us about this one?
Okay, well, I'm going to be honest, and I apologize to the Wargroove developers as similar issues exist in Advance Wars and other games like it in this genre. But naval combat is boring. You could see that in this game's arcade mode. Those naval maps are an absolute slog. So I started out by making a full naval map here, but ran into the same issue. It just wasn't very fun to play and took too long. At that point, I tried to develop something that was more like invading an island or landmass of a group of naval units, and then transitioning more to ground combat. That's how the idea for this map was born. The funny thing is that this map was a huge roadblock in the development of this campaign. This map went through 4 or 5 full revisions before arriving at the version you see now. And it probably took about 2 weeks of stepping away from the game to finally be able to come back and get through this roadblock. The lack of water assets for the cutscene editor didn't help either, so I had to come up with something goofy and creative.
So you decided on having me slink through a storm and nearly drown as the boat was struck by lightning?
Well, in Eric's defense, you weren't injured despite all of that. The same can't be said for all the opponents you're fighting. Are they supposed to be undead or something?
Yes, my legion is amassed for the trespassers that met their untimely demise. At sea, soon you will join their ranks as you... Wait, is that the Pasta King? Talk about dead things coming back from the past.
Is this just gang up on PK Day? All I tried to do was help, and I get thrown to the wolves for it.
Sorry, sometimes it's just too easy.
Is there anything else you have to say before we move on?
Yes, please, tell us more. One little bit of trivia. Originally, I planned on having 5 power crystals that you had to destroy instead of Grim Angel splitting into 5 physical copies. But since I already used crystals in chapters 3 and 5, I decided to go with this. I think it fits more in the supernatural theme of the map anyway. Are you sure that you don't have anything else to add? Not even one more thing? Let me think. Everyone, don't let him trick you. Grim Angel is just stalling so he can grow stronger. No. I'm just really interested in whatever Eric was just talking about. Pizza cooking techniques or something? No, maybe it was.
Oh, thanks, Mr. B. Let's conclude this little segment then. Here's a little something for your troubles. See? Even when you guys are mean to me, Uncle PK still comes through with gifts. Just don't spend it all in one place.
He has a point. If he's gonna give me free stuff, it's probably worth it to be a little nicer to PK.
Darn, that was my chance. I thought my strategy was foolproof.
Sorry, but no amount of strategy can outwit the Ghost Gang.
Pah, no matter. These waters will still mark our final resting place.
Oh man, sorry about that, guys. I gave myself way too much time to read on this chapter. This is literally the opposite problem. That was awkward, but I hope you liked that one. That was fun.
Chapter 8 is upon us, and this is a really memorable one. I really like this map for reasons I've already stated. There's so much intensity to it, and it's very open-ended, which I also appreciate. You can really win this chapter in a variety of ways, and there's so much dialogue, too, that Eric wrote into it. There's no way to see it all in a single playthrough, or even 2 playthroughs, really. And the PK spot, you definitely have to make a bit of a detour to it, but you're kind of encouraged to anyway since there are resources outside of the castle. Yeah, see, the PK spot is right here. Hello everyone, it's the Pasta King. Congratulations on finding my hidden space for Chapter 8, Unwelcome Guests. Aha, like determining the critical points of a polynomial function, I finally managed to track you. Track you down. Sorry, Mr. B. Although the map humor is appreciated, Eric is really not in a joking mood for this map. He wants to get straight to the point and down to business. Okay, I understand. As an educator, when it comes to grading, lesson planning, and writing college recommendation letters, sometimes you do just have to buckle down and get to work. College recommendation letters? That's an awfully specific thing to bring up. Are you supposed to be doing those now instead of... Oh hey, I think it's time to start this developer insight. What do you think? Eric, I'm surprised. How long did you spend on making this map? Was it really that bad of an experience? 48 divine locations, 19 flags, 4 counters, and 124 scripted events. That is what it took to make a map as intricate and non-linear as this. It was worth it in the end, but man, did this take a long time. Yeah, map design, coding all the events, scripting alternate dialogue, and editing the map's pre- and post cutscenes. This map took the most amount of time and effort compared to all others in the campaign by a clear mile. Okay, you've proven your point. Good job on getting through all of that. Thanks. I wanted to make a Prison Break style map similar to something from Dragon Age or Baldur's Gate since the beginning of the campaign, but I never thought it would be this difficult to pull off. Originally, the prisoners consisted of basic soldiers and spearmen rather than more expensive units, but I realized that the minor increase in value that they provided as allies didn't justify the cost of recruiting them in the first place. As such, they had to be modified quite a bit before the balance was just right. Also, per Effie's request, there were going to be sparrow bombs that appeared to surprise the player when opening certain rooms, but that turned out to be pretty cheap and unfair in practice. Sorry, Effie, that you didn't get to blow stuff up. I love that portrait. Anyway, you may not even know this. Oh, yeah, there are actually unique dialogues for every group that Blueghost rescues and every group that Mr. B rescues. There's a hidden secret at the end if one of the two manages to rescue all of the prisoners, and it's different depending on who does it. So what you're saying is that this map has quite a lot of replay value. Yes, in fact, I wonder how many attempts it would take for the player to experience every possible dialogue option. That would get pretty exhausting doing the same mission repeatedly, right, Blueghost? Why are you giving me that look like you want to hunt for Easter eggs? One more thing before you go. For the version 4.1 update, Sneaky Scarab and Stern earned their well-deserved cameos in the campaign. You may not be able to fight them here and now, but perhaps their stories will continue another time. Oh, I know what he's referring to. Thanks for having us. You're not such a spoony barn after all. I have to admit, I was a little antsy. I had to practice my lines on the fly with butterflies in my stomach. I hope I wasn't shaking like a jitterbug. Especially after playing through Shadow Mario World. I didn't know what was in store, but I think you snailed it. Did you really write them to always speak in Final Fantasy jokes and bug puns? Hey, would you look at that? It seems that that's all the time we have for this secret space. I suppose you're right. Join us next time by placing a commander on another hidden space. Oh, and by the way, you'll need to use a dragon for Chapter 8X instead. since there isn't a commander in that map. Definitely a fitting choice for that mission, though. Wait, there's a side chapter coming up? What happens at the end of this map that results in a storyline split? Oh, I feel so bad for Mr. B. PK and Eric have the power of the fourth wall break, so they know, but they can't tell Mr. B for the sake of the story. I wouldn't worry about it. Just take a little something for your troubles. Oh, and just to be clear, writing this dialogue did not interfere with any students getting accepted to college. Just thought it would be best to clear the air on that one. Just like Uncle PK does for his loyal subjects, Eric always takes care of anyone that calls upon him for aid. Just don't spend all this aid in one place. Well, I guess that writing was worth it to make this map. Think of how many dialogue options there would have to be. In fact, come to think of it, do you think that even this space would have different dialogue if Blueghost visited it? Instead of me? Well, Mr. B, you are actually right. It does change a little bit if Blueghost visits it, and I'll show you. You even get a different unit. For Mr. B, you get a rifleman, or marksman. I forget which name it is depending on the faction. I think it changes for each faction, but you know what unit this is. They're quite useful. And they get used a lot more in Wargroove 2, by the way. In Wargroove 1, they're DLC only, and Eric's campaign only uses them as PK spot bonus units. Now, let's switch over to another playthrough where I get the PK spot with Blueghost. Okay, here we go. As usual, I use the wagon, swagging on the wagon. Yeah, I'm not going to read the same lines. I'm going to read the new ones, though. Not to sound selfish, but I'm really hoping for a good reward unit for finding this one. I had to go way out of the way, and... Sorry, Blueghost, I'm going to have to cut you off. Eric is really not in a joking mood for this map. He wants to get straight to the point and down to business. Okay then. Kind of a nice change of pace. Was this map really such a bad experience for him? And yeah, the rest of this dialogue is most... Oh, it won't. Oh, hey, Eric, didn't see you there. Yep. This dialogue is the same. Really, really amazing job you do with this map, Eric, by the way. It's incredible the amount of moving parts that were in it. Yep. Lots of time, lots of work, but it was worth it. Now, I don't know what he's referring to in Dragon Age, but the Baldur's Gate series, all 3 games of the Baldur's Gate series, they have prison break segments. So I definitely know what Eric's talking about there. Yep. I'm glad the units have value. I'm glad you can get more than just swordsmen and spearmen. Like getting cavaliers or golems or alchemists, those are really nice. And no, I am not going to get all of the prison break dialogues. I am not going to do that. I've already put way too much work into this project now. I'm not going to put in more. Somebody else could do it. That is someone else's glory to be had. If you want to make a prison break montage video, link me to it, I'll shout you out. That would get pretty exhausting doing the same mission repeatedly, right, Mr. B? Why are you giving me that look like you want to hunt for Easter eggs? It's funny how Blueghost and Mr. B essentially trade places for that comic bit. And yeah, if you don't recognize these commanders, these are Errol and Orla. They're a 2-in-1 commander duo. They're kind of like the Ice Climbers. Oh, interesting. PK mentions Chapter 7 instead of 8X. I still think that's a weird choice. You're a weird guy, PK.
Yes, I am. But even so, I'll still give you a little something for your troubles. Because I'm the coolest. Look at that! Feeling generous today, aren't we, PK? Like I've said many times before, Uncle PK always takes care of his loyal subjects. Just don't spend it all in one place.
Well, I guess that writing was worth it to make this map. Think of how many dialogue options there would have to be. In fact, come to think of it, do you think even this space would have different dialogue if Mr. B visited it instead?
Yeah, look at that. I gave Blueghost a golem.
Yeah, I bet you feel real bad calling me weird now, huh? Well, to be fair, I am weird, but I'm also awesome. I am weirdly awesome. And I know Eric knows. You know deep down, Eric. But my presence is unmistakably awesome.
Here we go with Chapter 8X. This was a fantastic map, and I blew it the first time I played it for dumb reasons. But on the second try, I kicked ass, I took names, I conquered. And as my character said previously, you do have to put a dragon on the PK spot. No one else will suffice. So move the dragon up to this corner. Hello everyone, it's the Pasta King. Congratulations on finding my hidden space in Chapter 8X, Zerg Rush. Wait, what? What's happening? Who are you? Smart of you to bring a dragon up here to activate this space. Usually it takes the commander to access this hidden dialogue, but I figured that a dragon was a fitting choice for this map. Don't worry, this space is still safe from triggering Mr. L's units to move. Uncle PK always does his best to keep everyone safe and... Hey, what's going on here? Salas, don't worry. We're just here to give some developer insight on the map. Then, we'll let you get back to the fight. Eric, how did you? Never mind, this better be worth it. Come on, Salas, you've known me since college, and all that time, have I ever led you astray? Do you really want me to answer that? Anyway, this map was inspired by a lot of old arcade games, like Space Invaders and Pac-Man, and has a very different feel to all the other maps in the campaign. The tower defense nature of this map was surprisingly tough to balance. Certain units like mages and aeronauts, incredibly powerful units, and they had to appear as enemies much more sparingly than I expected. I also wanted the difficulty to escalate as the map progressed, which is what led to Mr. L's army coming in from the back line to reduce the player's income over time. Luckily, it takes those troops a long time to make it all the way, so there really aren't too much of a bother. The terrain of this map was also overhauled a lot so that the movement of the enemies would funnel just right in only a few different areas that need to be defended. Although, one little extra secret I'll let you in on. When testing this map, I actually had more convincing victories with being very offensive with my dragons and other units, rather than playing conservatively and defensive. So if you're having difficulty, send those dragons down there and show Naratiax who's boss. Huh, thanks for the battle advice, I guess. Did you hear that, everyone? Let's stick it to them! Oh, one more question before you go, Salas. Yeah, what's up? Why is one of your starting dragons named Pandora? I mean, the other references speak for themselves, but who's that supposed to be? Ha! That one might be my most special of all. She was my fairy dragon companion in Visora's Awakening, a Dungeons & Dragons campaign that Eric ran a while back. Really? Eric, I didn't know you were into D&D. Never mind DM'd the whole campaign. How long did it go on for? Oh, you know, only about 2 years or so, maybe a little more. Whoa, that's quite the commitment. Yeah, and I ran a sequel campaign soon afterwards that lasted for an additional 6 months. It was time-consuming for sure, but it was a great experience. I think designing something like that actually really helped in making a lengthy campaign like this one. Lilith Madeira, Salvatore Mayor, Jean Rotwell, Cyrus Vernon, Raphael Villar, Agvar Frostpaw, Marion Vernon, Anka Elidrim, Iris Chandra, Leon Rowe, Zephyram Zedal, Katrina, Katrina Howland, Biscuit, and Murgle. I'll never forget you. Wait, there was a character in your campaign named Murgle? Yeah, don't ask, it's a long story. Speaking of long stories, I don't know how much longer you plan on babbling about, but I need to get back to defending my mountain. Well, while I'm on the subject, we have to mention Tristan Versade from Myrtle Manor, Lysander Holt from Dragon War, and especially Clyde Adler, aka Xander Vorik, aka Vizark from Tales of Ideas, City of Origins. Love, Elias. Good times in Pathfinder. It's no use. He's already lost down memory lane. Hello! Eric, are you even listening to us? Then there were those fanfics that I wrote all those years ago. Luigi is the target. Super Mario Sunshine Ocarina of Time. In Insider's Shadow. Okay, sorry about this. We'll just be going now. Here's a little something for your troubles. But wait, I didn't even get to our co-op playthrough of Tales of Symphonia. Sorry, Eric, it's time to go. Salus, don't spend it all in one place. Well, that was, nostalgic. Step out of it. I have to protect my homeland. Still, I wonder what Lilith would be up to right now. That was a really fun dialogue. Might be my favorite one so far. And the reward is nice. Getting 2 harpies, aka aeronauts, really help on a map like this. There are a lot of mountains for them to get their critical hits. They're a great accompaniment to the dragons. In fact, if they have their crit available, they can one-shot a yak with neutral or better luck. See? With bad luck, the yak will survive. Or should I say the cavalier? Yeah, see what happened there? With a slightly bad luck roll, they'll survive. But that's still a lot of great damage. Totally worth it. Here we are on Chapter 9. It's a very simple PK spot to get. Just a short wagon ride away. Right here on the open plains. Hello everyone, it's the Pasta King. Congratulations on finding my hidden space for Chapter 9. It's time to duel! Just in case this is your first time finding one of these, remember that you can experience this dialogue in any map by placing a commander on a suspicious space such as this one. Sometimes it's a special unit instead, like in Chapter 7 you'll need an amphibian unit, Chapter 8X you'll need a dragon, but most of the time it will be a... What's wrong, Blueghost? You don't seem like your usual self. Where's Eric? I have a very important question to ask him. Oh, listen, sometimes bad things happen, and, don't take it personally, Blueghost. The decision to, remove Mr. B made for a dramatic narrative twist. I know we're not supposed to be in character for these little bonus dialogues, but when Eric gets here, you can count on me showing him a thing or two about the effects of his little decision. Settle down, Blueghost. You've turned the corner, remember? It's time for you to take over this operation and become a leader. That's easy for you to say. You just show up randomly for funny banter. You don't have to live through something like this. I'm trying to carry on and crack a smile. I know it's something I need to do, but it doesn't mean that the pain has all gone away. I'm sorry, Blueghost. Perhaps it would be better if I provide the commentary this time. Eric could sit this one out to avoid any, potential injury. I think that's for the best. Well then, hey guys, this is the Pasta King with some exciting developer insight. You know, the name of this map was originally The Duel, then Duel of Destiny, then Duel of the Fates, and finally It's Time to Duel. Took a little bit for Eric to figure out the reference he wanted to go with, but ultimately he chose Yu-Gi-Oh! Despite the current state of that TCG's metagame. Is it really that bad? Let's just say it's complicated, but the idea behind the map sure isn't. A classic 1 versus 1 duel that you would find in any sort of strategy game like Advance Wars. Really, it's maps like these that are the lifeblood of this genre. As cool and creative as a lot of the maps in this campaign, the main Wargroove campaign were, it's a shame that there weren't more like this, but hey, I guess you could go into arcade mode to get your fix. I think I remember Eric telling me that after he finished Chapter 8,
He was so energized that he was able to get this map finished, including the beginning and ending cutscenes, in just 2 days. That's about 1,670 fewer days than it took for you to upload another episode of Ogre Battle. And counting. Right, well yeah, I always love when people bring that up. Listen, I'm a busy guy. I have work during the morning, stories to tell people in the afternoon, and dates to go on in the evening. It's hard to find the time to make progress on videos. Besides, I managed to put out 45 episodes of Ogre Battle back in the day. That has to count for something. Oh, come on, nothing? No credit at all? Fine, well I hope that you came out on the offensive at the beginning, because that's going to make it much easier to overcome DBC's massive head start in accounting for first turn advantage. That way we can be done faster and move on, because clearly, I'm not appreciated here. But what I did appreciate was my time playing Advance Wars by Web, and the inspiration for making this map came from maps similar to those Eric had made on that website. Good times.
Hey, are you done prattling on about the past? We need to get back to our fight.
Just one more thing to mention. For the version 4.1 update, Eric was considering making this map into a boss fight with all sorts of wacky events, but the end result was a map that guided the player into making a specific sequence of moves to win, and ultimately wasn't very fun.
What? Come on, Eric. That sounds awesome. Very befitting of a Super Saiyan warrior like myself.
Ooh, you're a Super Saiyan, DBZ? Can you show me?
Yeah, well, you see,
Let me guess, you're not in the mood. Well, before we get another rambling about how you're not dealing with the average Saiyan warrior anymore, let me leave you with a little something for your troubles. Just remember, Blueghost, sometimes we have to look beyond what we want and do what's best. Push through the pain, as giving up will only hurt more. Do not fear the challenges ahead, but rise to meet them.
That's actually really good advice. Thanks, PK.
No problem. I've been trying to tell everyone. More people need to listen to what Uncle PK has to say. Now go out there and steal victory. And money from your opponent. Just don't spend all of my advice in one place.
Hey, if we're going to play with units from the Double Trouble DLC, then so be it.
Let me even the playing field.
Now, are you ready to resume our bout?
Yes I am. This one's for you, Uncle PK.
Now that's really sweet of Blueghost, dedicating this victory to me. And look at that, we have Rogues. Rogues are another Double Trouble DLC unit, obviously. And they are a non-combat unit. They only have 2 uses. 1, they can ransack an enemy building, immediately turning it neutral. And once that's done, they'll have money in their sack. Their movement range will be reduced, but if they make it all the way back to a hideout, that's the type of structure that you can produce these units and marksmen. If they make it back to the hideout, that gold they took becomes yours to spend. So, they make money and they neutralize enemy properties. That's a useful unit. It's a pure utility unit. They cannot attack other units, they cannot counterattack, and they're very frail, of course. So use them wisely, and they can turn the tides of a match for you. And they cost 400 gold, so not super expensive, but definitely not a cheap unit you want to deploy willy-nilly. You want to deploy them with purpose. But you need to deploy them on maps that have a high property density. Kind of like if you're looking for a map to play Kindle on from Advance Wars Dual Strike. Kindle was crazy on property density high maps. And Rogues, yeah, thrive in those kind of conditions. They want to ransack a lot. They want to make you money. They're money-making engines. They're money printers. Yeah, that term is better. That's the one I was looking for. Anyway, Uncle PK is right. Blueghost needs to move on. And we're moving on to the next dialogue. Let's rock and roll with Chapter 10. You can get the PK spot during any round of the tournament. And for optimal purposes, I think the final round would be the best time to do it because of the bonus unit. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to do it during round 1. Hello everyone, it's the Pasta King. Congratulations on finding my hidden space in Chapter 10, For Glory. Hey, look at this. Looks like you've gained quite the fan base, Blueghost. Check out all of these people here to see you. And this is only just the first round. Imagine the crowd's hype when you make it further in the tournament. Though I guess I shouldn't get too ahead of myself. Don't tell me you've already lost faith, PK. Ladies and gentlemen, in a surprise twist, a disembodied voice has entered the battlefield. This is Super Yoshi, not Eric. And is confiding in our challenger, Blueghost. What can this mean for the opponent? Huh? Who's that? That's not Eric, is it? No, that's just Super Yoshi. He likes adding some drama to this tournament. Well, of course. You have to hype up the crowd for a big event like this. Sit back and let me show you how it's done. Ahem. Can you smell what Uncle PK is cooking? Even the crickets have gone quiet. Oh, come on! That was good! Let me try another one. I think it's best if you just give us some map insight and get out of here. That's what the people really want. You think so? Oh yeah! Who wants to hear some developer commentary? See? The crowd is back on your side. Well, alright then. Eric doesn't seem to be here again, so I guess it's up to me. I wonder what's been keeping him. Can you handle it all by yourself? Heh! No problem. Now then, I know Eric's inspiration for this map was twofold. On one hand, he wanted to see how changing the locations of different features on a map, even if the terrain was kept the same, would change the flow of battle. On the other, he wanted to develop another small, compact map, so the action could be focused and every space of separation really made a difference. Plus, if the map were made larger, it wouldn't really make for the best spectator sport, now would it? Eric mapped out each layout for this map on graph paper to ensure that nothing would overlap, and each variant offered a distinctly different challenge even with the terrain remaining constant. Did you hear that, folks? Graph paper! Come on, bub. You gotta give me something a little more exciting to work with here. Well, how about this? In a dramatic twist of fate, Eric also managed to find a major game crash on this map, which involved changing the names of locations while certain commanders were a part of the map. Faced with such a dire situation, he journeyed to the Wargroove Discord server to report the bug, which ended up in the official patch notes for the game and has since been fixed. Crisis averted! There you go! Now that's the kind of drama I was looking for. Say, are you interested in becoming a fighter? We'd benefit from having someone like you around. Sure, let me just wrap things up. Here's a little something for your troubles. Will this be enough to turn the tides for Blueghost? Stay tuned to find out. Just don't spend it all in one place. Alright, with PK on my side, there's no way I can lose now. Blueghost seems to have some newfound confidence, but will it be enough? Let's get back to the action! Yeah, you get a harpoon ship. And aerial units are more likely to be used on the second and third rounds, so I recommend getting it on one of those, particularly the third, because it's easier to access the PK spot in the final round than it is in round 2. Also, PK's dialogue doesn't really change if you do it on rounds 2 or 3. There's just a slight mention, like PK will mention what round you're currently in, but other than that, the secret space dialogue is largely the same, so that's why I'm not showing the other variants. They're very, very minor, unlike the Chapter 8 variants with Mr. B and Blueghost. Those are actually more substantial. So yeah, the harpoon ship doesn't do much in round 1. Like I said, save it for round 2 or 3, especially 3. Like, I almost see harpies deployed all the time in round 3, in my experience. Also, that part about PK being asked to be a fighter in the arena, I like that. Is that a story beat in the sequel? Don't spoil it for me, Eric. I know a little bit about what my character does in the sequel because I've watched 2 of Mega streams, but I don't know everything. So please, if it does happen, don't spoil it for me. Thank you very much. Chapter 10X, the puzzle of all puzzles. On this map, you have to get the PK spot with Sedge, aka Psy Slayer, and make sure you don't wait on the PK spot. make sure to, use Sadistic Rush on this swordsman over here. Trust me, if you don't do it, if you wait on the PK spot, you'll get the dialogue, but then you'll immediately lose afterwards. So, be warned.
This is a bit out of the way, but this spot looks suspicious. I wonder what will happen if I...
Hello everyone, it's the Pasta King. Congratulations on finding my hidden space in Chapter 10X, A Swift Getaway.
What the heck? PK, what are you doing here?
Hey Eric, so this is where you've been all this time. You didn't make it to the last 2 developer commentaries, and I was starting to worry.
Hey PK, yeah, sorry about that. I was a bit occupied with trying to keep the Star Warrior secret under wraps, which I guess could have gotten better. Looks like things aren't going too well for my character. I mean, for me.
Well, regardless, it's good to have you back.
Slayer was the one who saved me back there. He deserves all the credit for making this possible. I'm honored, but you are the one who came up with this map in the first place. Not exactly. Everyone in the Discord server really helped me out with this one. They suggested making a puzzle-style map when I was stumped as to what I should do. Not only did it come together nicely, but it turned out to be my favorite map of them all.
So what you're saying is that it all goes downhill from here?
Cynicism aside, I wanted to make a map based on using the movement abilities of commanders to try and reach certain goals. I love that this map stands out with unique gameplay from the others, and the puzzles really escalate in difficulty as you progress. That being said, it took quite a bit of playtesting to ensure that puzzles couldn't be cheated or skipped in some way. Also, I really wanted to make the map seem like a natural, interconnected area rather than a series of discrete rooms. Even though the puzzles are all separated, it looks pretty convincing, doesn't it? At times, it almost makes it seem like a, don't say it, maze game!
Ugh, why must you always insist on bringing up the incredible maze?
No, not that one! Anything but that! I will not stand idly by while the maze game gets mislabeled as that travesty.
Okay, sorry. Is that all it takes for you to get bent out of shape?
I'm ignoring you now.
Aw, does someone need a hug?
Lastly, since TV spoilers is a literal graveyard, I had to decorate it accordingly. You happen to notice how many tombstones there are on this map? I think I already know the answer to that. Needless to say, this map underwent several drafts and revisions before arriving at the final version you see here. It was originally supposed to be a stealth map in which we stuck through a prison to escape, but trying to make it so soldiers had a field of vision and patrolled in predictable patterns proved too cumbersome.
Yeah, I don't know if gameplay like that would be really fun in a game like this anyway.
Exactly, but speaking of gameplay, I think this map is a testament to the creative gameplay twists that the map editor is really capable of creating. Worked out for the best here.
That's great to hear. But did you think about Slayer? About how Slayer is going to make it back from this base?
May have been a small oversight.
Ha! Fear not! Uncle PK has your back!
Thanks for that! Phew! Indeed, your time of the aid is truly appreciated.
Just don't spend it all in one place!
Wait, did PK just disappear? Where did he go off to now? Don't worry, he has a hidden space on every map. Just move a commander onto it, and you'll find him again. I see. Must have taken a while to write all of those extensive dialogues. Yes, it did. Well, let's not delay any further. We need to get out of here. Right, let's go. Go Dodgers! Go Sox!
That was a good one. Well done, Eric. And as you can see here, Slayer has an easy path back to the objective, thanks to these cleverly placed amphibians. PK is the master of amphibians, didn't you know? I love the little guys. Best unit in the game. Don't at me. I'll fight you on this. Merfolk are so freaking good. They capture buildings. They have 1 to 2 range. They're the best damn unit in the game. And you heard it from me first. And there we go. Slayer is back in there. And I'm not going to show the rest of this, but yeah, I do complete the map again because it's an awesome map. Really satisfying puzzle to solve. And I used a different solution in the last phase this time. I love how the presence of Caesar and his groove really enables different solutions. I took a completely different path through the left side of the map. I believe last time I focused more on the right. In the last phase, I mean. Yeah, this is just a fantastic map in general. In Chapter 11, the PK spot is on the north side of the map, which is owned by Darth Bowser. And you could send Blueghost through Darth Bowser's side first, or you could go through Rock's side and open the gates. It's up to you. Hello everyone, it's the Pasta King. Congratulations on finding my hidden space in Chapter 11, The Sands of Time.
Hey PK, even all the way in the middle of this miserable desert, you still come through with developer commentary. How do you do it?
Oh, don't worry about me, Blueghost. I'm far more concerned about you. 2 against 1 doesn't exactly put the odds in your favor.
Well yeah, but hey, I did a 3 versus 1 and came out fine.
Well, this is pretty tough, but I know I can do it, comparatively speaking.
This is the first point in my adventure that I have to make the choice between doing what's easy and doing what's right.
Well said, Blueghost.
Eric!
It's uplifting to see that Mega's emote vetting procedure instilled you with a strong moral compass. Huh? What's wrong, Blueghost?
Didn't I just see you on the battlefield? Or at least someone who looked just like you?
I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe you should just get on with the developer commentary. Yeah, good idea. I think that's for the best. Well, this map originally started as something completely different in my mind. It was an expansive desert map filled with various things you could find on different spaces, such as treasure chests, undead allies, ancient artifacts, and spike traps. The rationale was that it created side objectives for the player to pursue that would ultimately prove useful. However, as I found out, a map like that is really only fun with 2 human players. The AI isn't really one for outside-the-box thinking. So I scrapped that idea entirely and went with a map that literally tasked Blueghost with balancing 2 fronts at once. Only the spike traps survived from the previous version of this map. Fun fact, each of those spike traps runs on its own pair of event triggers. 1 to activate it, 1 to reset it. So there are 100 event triggers in total on this map. Thank goodness for the map editor's duplicate event feature. Also, taking a bit of inspiration from the Ornstein and Smough fight from Dark Souls, the remaining opponent gets a little buff once one of them is defeated.
Wait, what?
Oops, maybe I've said too much. Still, I think this ended up being the map with the highest difficulty in the campaign so far. Good job, Blueghost, on making it this far.
Thanks, Eric.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to.
Hey, where are you off to in such a rush?
I have to, do some stuff and things.
Must take a lot of time for him to prepare the next developer commentary.
Sure, we'll go with that. In any case, here's a little something for your troubles. Just don't spend it all in one place.
Hey, what gives? Why don't we get some special dialogue and presents? Dwarf has a point. Aren't these tactical benefits only fair if everyone has access to them?
Don't worry, Uncle PK takes care of anyone who lands on his space. Come on down!
Wait, do you just? You'll really help out the enemy?
Guess there's only one way to find out.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
That's up to you, Blueghost. Wow, very interesting implication from my character there. Imagine the bosses trying to land on my space and you as Blueghost have to prevent them. That would be a fun little objective for a map. Protect the PK spot. and maybe like if they land on the PK spot, it wouldn't be game over, but they'd gain like a massive buff. That's just a funny idea that popped up into my head. And the dogs you get here aren't a massive help because, this map isn't really particularly great for dogs. I mean, they can still be useful. They're still cheap. They can still swarm people. There's a lot of open space for them to run around in, so not the best PK spot reward, but not the worst either. It's also nice how they come on both sides of the map, so you got one dog help with Darth, one dog help with Rock. And again, I do want to compliment this map. It had a very interesting balancing concept to it. You have to balance your forces between 2 fronts, just like Eric said, and just like I've said previously in the playthrough. It really keeps you on your toes mentally. And I don't think you do anything differently in my replay of this map. I still send Blueghost to Darf's side, and I kill Darf first. But maybe one of these days I should do another playthrough where I defeat Rock first, because I'm curious what kind of bonuses Darf gets after Rock is defeated. Oh well. Another time. I'm not doing another playthrough anytime soon, just so you know, guys, just so you know. This is it. Welcome to Chapter 12, the Yak Attack. To get the PK spot here, that's entirely up to Blueghost. While they're on their mission on the right side of the map, they're doing their little capturing mission, and the PK spot is on the way. Hello everyone, it's the Pasta King. Congratulations on finding my hidden space for Chapter 12, Yak Attack.
What now? Who's this footy guy?
I think this qualifies as fan interference.
Chill out, guys. It's just PK. I found his hidden space, so now we're treated to some bonus dialogue. This will be over before you know it.
Fine, but don't think I'm not taking advantage of this stoppage of play. Yaks, huddle up.
Why do we just let everyone get away with every ridiculous thing? This is not normal. Footy.
Hey, Mr. L, why don't you just gather around and let Uncle PK tell you a little story? It's about the developer insights that went into making this map.
Well, I guess that does sound interesting.
Wait, doesn't Eric normally give us his spiel on all this? What's he busy with this time?
Hey, give Eric a break. He's a busy guy. Need I remind you of all the Let's Plays that he has produced over the years for your enjoyment?
Are you going to list them all regardless of my decision?
Well, they need to be mentioned somewhere in all this. Let's see, we had Perfect Dark with enemy rockets, Mario vs. Donkey Kong, Soul Calibur 2, SimCity with infinite money.
Why does it seem like most of his videos were played with cheat codes?
Oh wait, I know which one comes next.
Of course. Next was the criminally underrated first-person shooter and puzzle adventure, Hexen.
No, not that one. Nobody watched that.
Hey, that's not very nice.
No, I was talking about the incredible
Hey, shh! Eric really doesn't like it when people mention that one.
What's he gonna do? Yell at me more about his stupid pizza cooking techniques?
Don't test me! And they're not stupid. Putting takeout pizza in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 5 minutes makes the crust crispy again and the cheese melty and delicious. It took me 28 years of my life to realize this, and my advice will not be silenced.
Did he really just stop by just for that?
Anyway, then there was The Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Adventures, Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest, Cruis'n USA, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time.
Wasn't TMNT the first Let's Play for which Eric used a capture card instead of a camera?
Yes, but you have to admit that the camera quality was good, all things considered.
What came next? We have to be getting to the good stuff.
Indeed, that we had Mario Golf Toadstool Tour,
With Ring Attack!
followed by Super Castlevania 4, Star Fox Assault, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, Castle Crashers.
Wasn't that the last time we saw Eric's friends Kyle, Henry, and Jay? What are they up to now?
My sources tell me that Henry and Kyle are both happily married with lovely wives. And Jay just graduated from college and is gearing up to start his career.
Glad to hear they're doing well, whoever they are.
Indeed, next was The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, the fan favorite, Mario Superstar Baseball, GoldenEye 007 with enemy rockets, Super Mario 64.
Geez, how many more are there?
It is pretty crazy when you go back through the last 10 years of content creation, but we're almost at the end. The last few were Mario Power Tennis, Super Mario Strikers, and Fire Emblem. Then, he started live streaming after that. He made it through 200 live stream events, including Skies of Arcadia Weekend, and a final playthrough of Paper Mario, The Thousand Year Door. All 200 live stream events that he hosted in order were...
Whoa, hey PK, I think we're getting a little off track. Let's have some developer commentary on how the map was created.
Alright, sorry about that, I guess I got a little carried away. The concept for this map was loosely based off of one in Wargroove's main campaign, Act 5, Mission 1. However, this definitely has more of a split party dynamic, as one side has to defend the main front, while the other advances towards the goal. Just a little tip, Spearman will be your best friend in fending off Naron's yaks. You might be surprised at how much damage those little guys could do when grouped together. Also, Naron's reinforcements spawn infinitely, so if you're thinking of waiting it out until the end, you're gonna have a bad time.
Infinitely? But how could someone's army have infinitely many units? That doesn't make...
Okay, I think this timeout has lasted long enough. Any longer, I'm going to petition for a yellow card on account of delaying the game. Okay, yeah, we've been at this for a while. Here's a little something for your troubles.
Hey, neat. These little bombs should help to put a dent in Naron's yaks. And I might be able to cast a hex on them too. Thanks, Uncle PK.
Just don't spend them all in one place. Oh, so now we're allowing bench players to jump into the fray? It doesn't matter much anyway. It won't get you very far. My yaks will taste most victory on cheese nips today. Yeah!
Footy!
Oh, Mr. L, we love you. We love you and your fruit tier lists.
And yeah, these bonus units are nice. Uncle PK really gave Blueghost a hookup this time. 3 Sparrow Bombs and a Witch. Hexes are going to be really good here with how grouped up the units are. And remember, Hexes do not friendly fire, so your Witch can safely cast them in range of your own guys. You will not hurt them at all. And also, when Eric made that typo of on sources, it said sauces. That maybe I should have said my sauces tell me because I'm the Pasta King. Of course I have sauce spies stationed everywhere. I just came up with that one. Yes, I'm here all night. Nobody pays me for this, but they really should. I'm the best comedian ever, can't you tell? And yeah, this map is definitely no joke. You definitely have to treat the defense phase against the Yaks very seriously. They got close to my HQ last time, and they get close to my HQ this time as well. I think it's literally designed to be this intense, and you literally gotta make every unit count in your defense. And the right side is more chill, but I guess it's still not chill because you're still racing against the clock, so you don't want to dilly-dally with Blueghost as you're capturing properties. And as for the Sparrow Bombs, yeah, a lot of great places you could put those. You can definitely get more than 2 units. You can get 3 or 4 units pretty easily. But even if you only get 2, that's very valuable. Remember, Cavaliers are 600 gold apiece. So just damaging 2 Cavaliers is a lot of damage in terms of unit value. And here come the Sparrow Bombs. Woo! Woo! Chapter 12X is upon us. And this one is a bit weird because there are no beaches for Mega Freak to get off the barge. Mega Freak has to be on the barge for the whole map, so you have to send Eric all the way down here. Hello everyone, it's the Pasta King. Congratulations on finding my hidden space for Chapter 12X, Homecoming. Eric, there's no getting out of this developer commentary. You're the star of this map. Wait a minute, this isn't my normal theme music. What is this song and why is it playing now?
Well, PK, before the release of the Double Trouble DLC and the 2.0 version of this map,
this is the theme that played for finding your secret spaces. Ah yes, I remember now. I think my new music sets a happier tone, but I like that this one sounds more regal and noble. I am the Pasta King, after all. Why didn't you claim this theme for yourself? Surely you would be fitting for a server administrator.
Don't worry, I found a more fitting use for it later on.
Plus, there really aren't any bad songs. Bad choices when it comes to the Wargroove soundtrack. The themes from the base game and the Double Trouble DLC are all fantastic. In fact, during the development of this campaign, I almost exclusively listened to the Wargroove soundtrack while driving to and from work. It helped me get in a creative mindset.
Well, excuse me, PK. Eric isn't the only star of this map. I think you're forgetting about a certain someone over here.
Well, you're trapped in a boat for this entire chapter, Mega. Does that really count?
Hey, I put my Name That Game Tune contest on hold so that I could sail all the way to the other side of Admin Isle to help out. And I offered to stream a full playthrough of this campaign on Twitch, right when it was released to the public. A little appreciation every once in a while is all I'm asking for. Fair enough. All kidding aside, Mega, you have been a phenomenal friend over these past few years. Even though our game opinions have their fair share of differences, I can always count on you to have my back. Thanks for being my partner in crime. Hey now, I don't think. Oh. I didn't expect a compliment. I thought you were going to just make fun of the stuff that I enjoy, like Pocket Card Jockey. Or the Tingle games. Oh, don't worry, there's still plenty of time for that.
Hey Eric, I'm not trying to interrupt your little powwow over here, but I'm starting to get impatient. We have a match to get back to. Don't make me bring up all those Mario Trivia Challenge coins that I was never able to cash in.
Hey, yeah, I forgot about that.
Right, developer commentary. Well, the main challenge of this map for me was to create a fun escort mission, which is a tall order in the world of video games. I originally thought of having the land units hit switches to open gates, such that but it was far too slow and involved a lot of waiting around. By implementing siege towers like this, it gives both the naval and land forces a more active role in pushing forward. It also presents the challenge of finding these towers, protecting these towers since the enemy can get them. By the way, determining the exact placement for the control centers took a lot of time. It was a pain to shuffle them around since it involved moving around a lot of different location triggers, but I had to do it probably about 5 times or so as I was testing the map. How annoying. Much like in previous maps, there is unique dialogue scripted for if the player manages to defeat Namadu instead of escort Mega to the shore. It's a lot harder. It's a lot harder to do, but might be worthwhile to see this map's alternate ending.
How many other maps have alternate endings like that?
Oh, pretty much every chapter that has multiple victory conditions. I guarantee that there are dialogue scenes that you may never encounter even if you play the game multiple times over.
That sounds like a challenge.
Hey, that's up to you. I'm just thankful that you took the time to check out this campaign in the first place.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Speaking of which, here's a little something for your troubles. Alright, another ally to defend my ship. Just stay out of the range of those ballistae.
That's really the key to winning on this map. If you can keep pushing forward at a steady pace and don't lose any units due to careless placements, then you should be fine.
Just don't spend it all in one place.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Namadu. Let's get back to it.
If we must.
Neat. So this Harpy right here will help in defending Mega's ship. But personally, I find that it's better to send them to support Eric in the center. Because look, I have 3 ballistae here and a harpoon ship. Those could easily handle the turtles that come Mega's way. But this is still nice. A Harpy is always a helpful unit. And there are mountains here for critical hits. On Chapter 13, you have to do a bit of sailing or a bit of a mountain trek to get to the PK spot on the south side of the map, which is a nice place to launch an assault from, all things considered. As usual, I'm bashing through Q's defenses. There really should have been more reinforcements on this map. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Now let's get that PK spot. Hello everyone, it's the Pasta King. Congratulations on finding my hidden space for Chapter 13, Catastrophe! Okay, I really hope that we can avoid the cat puns for this bonus dialogue scene. You can ramble on for as long as you want. Can we at least agree on that?
I'll try my best, Blueghost. After all, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Oh, sorry. Sheesh, now I have to watch what I say. I feel like a cat on a hot tin roof.
Maybe you should just let me take it from here.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Well, I think it goes without saying that my internet search history is forever altered, thanks to this map. Writing all of the cat puns took quite a bit of wordsmithing. But as far as the gameplay in this map is concerned, I really wanted to capture the feeling of Blueghost finally taking the fight to the enemy, rather than being attacked and caught off guard. It's like Blueghost's graduation before heading off into the final 2 chapters of the game. Designing Q's castle and controlling the triggers for when the enemy's position inside would move is tough. In total, there are 10 different assigned groups of enemies within the castle. These enemies are toggled to move differently depending on how Blueghost breaks into the castle. It's fairly easy to get to the castle gates, but make sure to not rush in is the real challenge of this map. Be careful out there. Also, did you happen to notice the shapes of the walls within Q's castle?
What's so special about them?
I'll leave that to you to figure out.
Ah, mysteries abound here at Chapter 13. Well, that about wraps up this conversation. I don't want to interrupt Q's catnap.
Oh, come on, that one was on purpose.
Here's a little something for your troubles.
Oh, thanks for the help, PK. Sorry if I was a little short with you. I'm just really sick of these puns.
So you're telling me that Uncle PK is a pretty cool cat after all?
Never mind, just get out of here.
Hey, Blueghost, I know you're a little agitated towards PK, but he means well. After all, he has a hidden space in every map that's only meant to help you.
I know. I wandered down here in the first place. I should be prepared for any shenanigans that ensue.
Well, you know what they say.
What's that?
Curiosity killed the cat.
Ugh!
Damn it, Eric, you just had to do one too, didn't you? Neither of us could resist. And these are some nice rewards. Unfortunately, they can't really help you with the enemies inside the castle. There's not really like a close enough spot for them to start shooting. Just imagine if they could start bombarding the castle. That would be hilarious. In Chapter 14, you gotta cross the river, or the mountains, or the forest, probably a mix of all three, to get to the PK spot up here. You could use the balloon to speed things up, but it takes a while for a balloon to get here. I found that just having Blueghost start crossing from turn 1 gets it here on a pretty quick turn 6. Hello everyone, it's the Pasta King. Congratulations on finding my hidden space for Chapter 14, for the Alliance!
Hi, Uncle PK.
Howdy, PK, it's great to see you again.
What's up, PK? Ready for another developer commentary?
Hey, Eric, Mega, and Blueghost, all teaming up together on the same map. It's good to see everyone finally working together and in such positive spirits.
That's easy for you to say. Eric wrote my character as a heartless villain. I'm just a movie advocate who enjoys Pokemon Go and other cute things. What about? That makes me the go-to antagonist.
Hey now, I wouldn't call your character heartless. There's something he cares about.
Oh, what might that be?
Yourself. Just get on with this commentary on whatever so our battle can resume. Sorry, all kidding aside, Pond is a really nice guy, he just always...
Save your breath. The damage has already been done.
Well, okay then.
Awkward.
It wasn't awkward until you said the word awkward.
Anyway, fans of Wargroove might recognize the design of this map. It was originally taken from Act 6, Mission 2 of the normal Wargroove campaign. As soon as I played that map, I knew I had to recreate it in the campaign editor. It's not the toughest, but it does a fantastic job at blending together combat in the land, air, and sea. It was definitely a highlight of the campaign for me. So I started out with the base map and added on a lot of expansions and tweaks, such as the prisoners, the unit placements, and pretty much the entire west side of the map is brand new. Also, it has been reflected from its original version to properly match the geography of Admin Isle. I've gotten so used to this orientation of the map that now the regular one looks weird. As far as normal gameplay is concerned, this map probably takes the longest to clear, which made testing it a somewhat time-consuming process, but everything should be in working order now, especially the surprise at the end.
Surprise at the end? What are you talking about?
Eric, I think you may have said a little too much.
Ah, right, sorry. You'll have to wait and see.
Perhaps I should conclude this before any other information leaks out. We have spoiler channels in the Discord server for a reason, you know.
I know, but how do you know? You're not even a part of the server.
Ah, dear me, now I'm the one who's saying too much. Anyway, here's a little something for your troubles.
Ah, it's these weird bombs again. These should be good for blasting through all of Pond's forces.
I don't know why everyone's so mean to me. If this server were under my control, would it really be the worst thing in the world?
Just don't spend them all in one place. There's really one of these things for every map. Doesn't PK have anything better to do? Like finish Ogre Battle?
Had to get in one more shot before the end of that campaign, didn't you?
You know me too well.
Okay, very funny, Eric, very funny. But then again, this was written back in 2019. And for those who've been living under a rock regarding my YouTube channel, I completed my Let's Play of Ogre Battle in 2024. It was a momentous occasion. People loved it. I loved it. I moved on. I've been making new projects, like this one, and my Let's Play of Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. And I have more projects on the horizon. I've done it! Now all that's left is to collect the final PK spot. And collect the reward I have earned. I had to replay this entire campaign. I deserve this. Let's see what I've got. What is the special reward? Yeah, I'm not gonna read this dialogue again. It's the same dialogue at first. Slim Kirby sings the Reverse a Bomb song. Yep, do, reverse a bomb, yep. He's singing the reverse a bomb. Slim Kirby sings. Remember those videos? Yep, and then I pop in with the hello, old friend. Where did you come from? And then no! Gotta get in that Simpsons reference. Yeah, it's me! This is the final spot! Chapter 15 Endgame. Let's effing go! Yep, it's just me, Uncle PK. I've been supporting Blueghost from the shadows. I am the big good. And yep, Eric and Mega are in this too. All 7 members of Crystal Star Studio are on this map. Perfectly balanced as all things should be. Am I right? Hello everybody, Slim Kirby here. Of course, I gotta get in that too. Good times, good times. I wouldn't worry about it. I think it's best if you just do what you need to do. Indeed, I am gonna do what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. Determination! Woo! And yeah, Eric's gonna give his insights. They are the exact same. Don't worry, we're getting to the new part of the dialogue. Remember, I showed this to you in my playthrough. The only different part is the very end when PK reveals the reward. If you did not get all the PK spots, you just get a single alchemist. But I got all the PK spots this time, and I made sure of it. I beat every map again to be sure. And Eric actually recently told me that if you get the PK spot, then die on the mission, like you get like a mission failed, the PK spot counts. But not if you get the PK spot, then click resign to go back to the world map. It's so strange. Like it should count in both instances, right? If dying counts, then so should resigning after getting it. Oh yeah, yes, one last surprise. Oh boy, here it comes. Those little gifts, those were nothing compared to this. It will really knock your socks off. For being a truly dedicated secret hunter, you get the gift of me! Point me in the right direction, Blueghost. The Pasta King is yours to command! Here he is! It's me! My character is clearly based off of King Merciful from the normal Wargroove campaign. He is Mersha's father. He is the King of Cherrystone. And he's just a really awesome dude in general. Really wholesome guy. But he doesn't have a groove that does anything in combat. His groove is purely a minigame. He goes fishing. And you can collect fish on the various maps to get more unlockable music and get gallery stuff. Yeah, that's it. Still, he's a commander. Commanders are strong units. And having a third commander on the field against Slim Kirby's forces, very useful. Much more useful than a single alchemist. And plus, it's just great for the meme value of having the Pasta King on the battlefield. Overall, I was already happy with the sheer amount of lines I got as an NPC. So this little playable appearance at the end it's just icing on the cake. I am happy with being the joke commander because I still get to help. How many people from the community get to say that they helped Blueghost in the final battle? Yeah, that's what I thought. And more than that, I'm just happy that Eric remembered me and all of the memories we shared well before the Discord server was even a thing. Because remember, I didn't join the 41 Alliance plus Mega Squad Discord server until November of 2020. So I was not part of the Discord server's early years. But you want to know what I was a big part of? I was a big part of the SM41 Trivia HQ IRC channel. I was a big part of the Mario Trivia Master Thread back on Insider, and the short-lived version on Insider too. So I was like an ancient pillar of the community who was honored in this campaign. I represented the community's past. I wasn't, at the time of this campaign's making, I wasn't part of the server's present, but I was definitely a big part of its past, and I thank Eric for remembering that. And I also want to thank Mega Freak 400 because he revealed that he originally approached Eric with the idea of having me as the Secret Space character. And Eric liked that idea, so he went ham with it. So thank you, Mega, as well. You and Eric, yeah, are great friends for many, many reasons you already know. And this campaign is awesome. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Most of the maps were bangers. I had a great time with it. And even though I was kind of forced to replay it again for making this video, I still had a fun time, you know, because a lot of the maps are fun. So I really wasn't like angry that I had to replay these maps. I was just, you know, hoping for an easier time making the video. But I guess all things worth doing are rarely easy. Very rarely are they easy. And now, let's finish off Slim Kirby one more time. Alright, I think you guys know what's coming. You know who we have to give the final blow to. Spearman, do your job. You've done well, Spearman. And now, the King strikes the final blow. Blueghost, you've done enough. Grey Ghost, you've done well too. Slim Kirby, I shall free you from this curse, my friend. And with that, this project is finally over. Thank you all so much for watching this, whether you were watching on Twitch or on YouTube. Thank you again. And a big thank you again to Eric. Big thank you again to Mega. Big thank you again to all the cool people in the Discord server. Y'all were supporting me through thick and thin. And words cannot express how much I appreciate that. I hope this video was to your liking. I was kind of perfectionistic during the making of this video. I did multiple retakes, I did lots of edits. But at some point, you have to stop refining and put the damn product out there. Otherwise, it'll never come out. And I have put way too much time into this remaster project, seriously. I've said it before, I could have just uploaded the VODs from Twitch onto YouTube and called it a day, but no. I went the extra mile remastering it, and I went another extra mile making this PK spot montage. I have done enough, quite frankly, and I had to rein myself in. I had to rein in my perfectionistic tendencies and get this video done. It's been long enough. I've got other projects I want to do, and it's about time I got back to them. And before I go, I just want to say nothing changes in the credits. You still get the same scene, even if you get all the PK spots. But hey, to tie it back into the previous theme, Eric did enough work on this campaign as well. He didn't need to write another credit scene. He's already written so much dialogue. He's scripted so many events. It's like I said before, sometimes you gotta stop refining and put the product out there. Eric did that with his campaign, and now I did it with this video. Thank you again for watching, guys. I will see you next time for some more Stranger of Paradise.